Good morning, Miss Duckett's class and Miss Duncan's class. We're all here together today, and we have a writing assignment. So I'm going to read the question, and we're going to kind of work through it, so it'll be much easier for you this week. The question is, what is the best gift you have ever given to someone? Complete in a CER paragraph. Try to use at least 2 compound sentences. Please type your answer in red. Well, first of all, let's just do a little mini lesson over what compound sentences are. Compound sentences, I hope you know this, is 2 independent clauses that is connected with a subordinating conjunction. Well, let's think about our conjunctions. Can everybody start thinking about your conjunctions? For example, we use the term fan. I'm going to do A, N. These are the ones that we're going to be using. B, O. What am I spelling, guys? I am spelling fanboys. So the F stands for for, which is a fancy because. I'm going to put that. It's a fancy because. So if you can usually use the word because, you can use the word for. And is when you're adding one more, which I think that's pretty easy. Nor is a negative, like, for example, no, I do not want pizza for breakfast, nor do I want chocolate cake for breakfast. Now, that's a joke. Both of those sound pretty good to me. Our next one is B is for but. It's like a different opinion. Yes, you can watch TV, but first you have to do your homework. So it gives a condition. The next one is or, where you get a choice. Sam, you can watch TV, or Sam, you can read a book. So there's a choice involved. Yet is kind of like but, and so is very much like and. So those are our conjunctions. We have 2 independent clauses that we're going to put together. An independent clause has a subject and a predicate. So, for example, Kinley came to school this morning. I'm going to put a comma because I have one independent for she wants to learn. Now let me think about that. Kinley came to school this morning. That is a independent clause. There's a subject, Kinley came to school this morning. That's her predicate, her action. For is our conjunction. She wants to learn. She is a subject. Wants to learn is a predicate. So we're very good. Let's do another one. Notice before the word that comes before the conjunction, you always put a comma there. Let's do another one. Keely likes to work on the computer, so she finishes her iReady on Monday. Let me check. Notice I started with a capital letter, Keely. Keely likes to work on the computer. That is an independent clause. We have a subject and a predicate. There's our conjunction, so she finishes her iReady on Monday. She is our subject. Finishes her iReady on Monday is her predicate. Now, I left out something. Anybody know what I left out? Yes, I left out my comma. I have to have a comma in the word in front of it. Now, let's do some of the students in Miss Duckett's class. King likes basketball, or he wants to play in the NBA. Let me think. King likes basketball. I have an independent clause. He wants to play in the NBA because I use that fancy because. I said for. I left out one more thing. I have basketball. Now let's go back. So that was just a quick review of conjunctions. Remember, you need to use at least 2 compound sentences, so you have to kind of think about it. let's see, what is the best gift you have ever given to someone? This is not a gift you received, but a gift that you gave to someone. And I really thought about it, and I really think the best gift I ever gave to someone was last year. I knitted my dad a hat and a scarf, and I had never made a gift for him since I was an adult that I created myself. And he was really touched by it, and he said, I haven't had a hand knitted hat and scarf since my grandmother died in 1968. So 50 years ago, his grandmother made him a hat and scarf, and he's worn it out, and he doesn't have it anymore. So it's the first gift that he's a hat and scarf that someone made for him. So I think that's the best gift. So we're going to do a CER today. So I'm going to think, let me go back and look at my question. What is the best gift you've ever given to someone? Okay. The best gift that I have ever given to someone was a hat and scarf. Okay? That's just an independent clause. There's not a subject and a predicate. It doesn't say who, but I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to use a personal story. Now, our evidence, I did my restate and answer. Now I've got to have evidence. Today, I'm not going to do reasons or example. I'm going to do a personal story. So, and I did this last year. Last year, I knitted my dad a hat and scarf. Now I'm going to use conjunction. And the reason I thought about making him a hat and scarf is because he's a cattle farmer and he has to go check out his cattle no matter how cold it is. So I'm going to say I knitted a hat and a scarf. I knitted my dad a hat and scarf so he would be warm when he checked the cattle. I knitted the hat and scarf in his favorite color. I think I'm going to change that. Okay. I'm going to say I chose, because see, this is what authors and writers do. They change their mind. I chose green yarn. I'm going to use that fancy because no, I'm going to say for it is his favorite color. And look, I spelled a word wrong, so I'm going to do a right click, and it's going to fix it for me. So let's see. The best gift that I ever was given to someone was a hat and scarf. Last year, I knitted my dad a hat and scarf so he would be warm when he checked the cattle. I chose green yarn for it is his favorite color. When he opened it, okay, it says when he opened the package, he said, wow, Dana Sue, I didn't know you could knit like that. His words touched me. And I'm going to use just because this time. Because I realized he was proud of me. Or he was proud of my effort, I think. Okay. Then he shared a story. he told me that he had not, he told me, I'm thinking, he told me that his grandmother made him a scarf 50 years ago. Let me scroll down. And so I'm gonna put a comma, and he hasn't had one made for him since then. Now here's something. Even though I use the word for, I wouldn't put a comma there because it's not him since then. That's not an independent clause. That's just like a filler word. But we need it to make sense. So I think that's going to be mine. Now I'm going to make sure I have two compound sentences. The best gift that I've ever given to someone was a hat and scarf. Last year I knitted my dad a hat and scarf so he would be warm when he checked the cattle. I chose green yarn for it is his favorite color. Okay, that's my first one. You know what? I'm going to highlight that in red so I know that I used a compound sentence. When he opened the package, he said, "Wow, Dana Sue, I didn't know you could knit like that." His words touched me because I realized he was proud of my effort. Then he shared a story. He told me that his grandmother made him a scarf 50 years ago, and he hasn't had one made for him since then. So I think I'm going to share that. So I think I had my two compound sentences. I'm going to put it in red. I've given evidence. You know what I forgot? I always need to go to the very first word and hit tab, so that indents it. And I've done my evidence. So I did a claim. I restated an answer. I gave evidence. I gave several sentences to explain why that was the best gift I was ever given. And reasoning, I'm going to do in other words. So I have to say why that was. So in other words, my dad appreciated a gift that was made by me. Okay. Now, I did say to type your answer in red, so I'm going to highlight everything in red. Now, you could have already started it all in red. That makes it a lot easier. And I go up here to the A. I'm going to put the color. It makes it a whole lot easier when I have to grade. And I'm going to read it one more time. The best gift that I have ever given to someone was a hat and scarf. Last year, I knitted my dad a hat and scarf so he would be warm when he checked the cattle. Ooh, there was another one. I had another compound sentence and I didn't catch it a minute ago. I chose green yarn for his favorite color. When he opened the package, he said, "Wow, Dana Sue, I didn't know you could knit like that." His words touched me because I realized he was proud of my effort. Then he shared a story. He told me that his grandmother made him a scarf 50 years ago, and he hasn't had one made for him since then. In other words, my dad appreciated a gift that was made by me. Okay, that is our lesson over that you're going to be writing. This is due on Thursday. You also have a compound sentence practice sheet. It's kind of like a worksheet, but it's online. But this is just going to show me if you understand how to make compound sentences. So let's review. You need to have two independent clauses. You need to have two independent clauses with a conjunction. And we use the fanboys for those. We're going to choose one of those. And let's see, what else? You got to have a CER. You have to have a claim, so you're going to restate the question. Then you're going to have evidence. I used a personal story. You could use reasons or examples if you wanted to. And then our last sentence will be in other words. And I put in other ways. I should have said in other words. That's why Ms. Duncan says you should always read over your work. My dad appreciated a gift that was made by me. So please look at this. This is what you're going to be doing. Now, I'm going to leave these examples up here to help you, but you're all going to get a copy like this, and you can get started. Thank you for your time, and if you need anything, just let me know, because most of you will be coming back to school this week. Have a great day.